is part 2 of my Q&A. I posted part 1 a week ago. You don't have to watch it, but if you want to, you can find it in my videos. But while you're here, you can go ahead and watch this one. So let me go ahead and get started with the questions. AG Dolphins wants to know my first American Girl doll. That was Samantha. I got her for Christmas when I was 5, not quite 6. The Oak Tree AG wants to know the first AG Instagram doll that I think of that doesn't belong to me. I'm thinking. I'm gonna go with AG Market's Jane is the first one that I thought of just now. Her Jane is a customized Mary Grace with freckles, and they're super cute. So it's right here. This is your name. If this is your name, this is your question. Have you ever been told that you're too old for dolls, and what is your reply? Oddly enough, the only person, other than those weirdos that comment on doll photos saying they don't like dolls, the only person that has told me I'm too old for dolls would be my parents. And my reply is always, just get over it. Like, I'm not too old for them. I don't think I'm too old. I know tons of people older than me that enjoy the same things, and there are a lot worse things that I could be into. And that's kind of what I tell my parents. I'm like, you might think I'm too old for dolls, but at least I'm not, There are a lot worse things I could have done as a teenager than play with dolls and take photos of dolls and spend my money on dolls. So I always told them that they should be grateful. But I mean, not in a rude way. I try to be respectful of my parents, but in the same time, it's who I am. So they had to get used to it. Australian Girl fan wants to know how I come up with photo ideas. And I don't really have a way that I do that necessarily. Sometimes I just wander around the house and I find something and I'm like, this is gonna be in a picture. This, it's not usually a pen, but it could be. I could find my little clicker remote and be like, I haven't used this in a while. Let me think of something that I can do so that I have to use this, so that I have to do this, or like, oh, I want to do a shoot where I only use one reflector and the lighting is coming from this way, and then I just figure something out. It's, you exercise your brain. I don't know if that answered the question, but we'll just pretend it did. How many photos do I usually take in a shoot, and how long does the shoot last? How many photos I take kind of depends on how many poses I do. I try not to do more than 10 photos of a pose because I think it gets too old, but I will, I'll like take it up close and then a little bit further back and then further back from that. But I don't like to spend more than 20 minutes on a shoot right now just because it's so hot and I think it gets old after a while. I don't know how long my shoots take. It kind of depends on how many dolls there are. If I, because sometimes I'll spend 15 minutes on a shoot and then the last 5 minutes is where I get all my shots that I love because it just clicks and you're like, oh, this is how this lighting needs to work, and this is how the doll should be posed. So it depends. And then sometimes after I get that 5-minute brilliance, it just goes on for another 10 minutes. Do I like emojis? Yeah, I do. I do like emojis. Do you want to see my favorite one? It's this one. Right here. This is my favorite emoji. But I also like this one. But this one, definitely my favorite. Phil.the.kitty wants to know my thoughts on the new Be Forever doll, which is Mary Ellen. It's not a spoiler anymore. I think pretty much everybody knows her name. I'm really excited about her. She reminds me a lot of pictures I've seen of my mom and my aunts growing up. So I'm super excited to see her collection and to hopefully bring her into my own collection. AG.blue wants to know, would I ever make a boy doll? And before I would have said no, but lately I have been thinking a lot more about it, and I'm not super tempted to quite yet, but I'm definitely not going to say never, because it does seem a little tempting right now. And how, I like this question a lot, how has AG changed since you were a kid? And when I was a kid, the focus was a lot more on the historicals because the Girl of the Year dolls were still pretty new. I remember, they were all pie bangs, and almost all of the Girl of Today dolls that I grew up with are gone now, which is just, it blows my mind. Because I remember when the first dolls were coming out, and I was like, that doll has curly hair, that's so cool, and I took the catalog and ran to my sister and was like, look at this new doll, look how different her hair is. And now they have all different kinds of dolls with curly hair, and I remember when 21 and 22 and 3 and 4 came out, and I was like, look, no bangs. And it just like blew my mind that this American Girl today didn't have the pie bangs. And now there's so many more dolls, and the clothes are so bright. But the fashion today is how it, the fashion was different then. The colors were dark and vibrant, and today everything is just so like pop and in your face. And but mostly I think the thing that's different is the historical line has just changed, and there's so many more dolls, and the clothes are so different. But at the same time, it's still the characters that I love, and some of them are the same, and the characters are all great, and you get to know them, and they just feel like your friends. AG Desserts wants to know if I had to give away one doll, who would it be? And I'm going to cheat a little bit because I actually did give away a doll. I gave away Kaylee Scout, not because I didn't like her, but because I knew a little girl who really wanted a doll, and I thought she needed Kaylee Scout more than I did, so she went to live with Catherine. Autumn_Violet_AG wants to know the easiest and hardest dolls to care for. I would say the easiest doll is Kit, because her hair is so, it's pretty straight and it's short, and it looks super cute, easy style. And the hardest would be Caroline, just because her hair is so long and curly, and it's thicker, because Kanani's hair is also pretty difficult, but Caroline's is a little bit curlier, and it's just, I guess a little, I don't know if it's thicker or what it is, but it just is, I can handle it, but I can, that's about it. I'm not masterful at it. I can just handle it. AG Doll in Canada wants to know, why did I start YouTube and who inspired me? I made my first AG YouTube videos when I was in high school. They were stop motions. I was inspired by the members of the American Girl fan message board, which doesn't exist anymore, but we were all pretty cool cats. I still like some of those kids. They started making stop motions, and I was like, hey, that looks cool, let me try the same thing. So that's when I started that. And then this YouTube channel I started on my birthday-ish, January of 2014, because I told my Instagram followers that if I got to a certain number by my birthday, I would post a video tutorial of how I took one of my most popular photos. And then I had to have a place to put it, so I made that YouTube to put it on, and here we are now. Ellie.Palmer.Sparkle wants me to explain my username, which is, once and for all, Carolee LS. That's right, initials. It is not Caroleels, but actually, I call myself that sometimes, and my friends used to joke and they'll call it that just because it's easier to say, but it is in fact Carolee L.S. because that's my name and my last two initials. There you go. Mystery solved. AG Buddies 2 wants to know, how did I start on Instagram? It's a fun story. I used to post my doll photos on Flickr. I didn't take them nearly as frequently as I do now, but when I had inspiration, I would go ahead and do some doll photos of Jess or something. And then people on Flickr started telling me that this account called Famous Dolls was taking my photos and posting them without my permission. But then it's cool. And, she commented on my photos or messaged me, I don't really remember. And we smoothed it all out. I gave her permission to use them, which is, if you want to use them, just ask. It's so much nicer to ask than to find out that somebody has used your photo without your permission. And usually I'll say yes. You like my photo? Oh my gosh, yes, you can use it, of course. Just don't take it, without asking, because they are my babies. I didn't have an account, but I was like, cite me and we're good. But then she seemed really nice, and then I realized that there were even more people stealing my photos out there. So then I went ahead and I got an account so that I could monitor that and kind of see what the community was, and I really liked it, so I ended up staying. Seashell_AG Dolls. When did I get interested in doll photography? I kind of already answered that, but more seriously in high school again, it was really inspired by the American Girl fans message board. Dolly_Girl_Studios wants to know how I choose my doll names. And I really don't have a method for it. I do come up with a list of names when I know that I'm getting a doll, but I'll never, select one certain name until I get a chance to look at the doll and they really just tell me their name. I take them out of the box and I meet them and I dress them and I have them in a photo shoot, and then that's kind of what tells me who they are and what their name should be. Australian girl fan wants to know if I have an Instagram posting schedule. I don't really have a schedule. I just kind of post when I want to. I try not to post too frequently. Sometimes I post more than I think I should, but I also try to make sure that I post at least once a day or so. AG Confetti wants to know the most photogenic doll that I have, and I would have to say that right now I really think it's Grace, but I'm just on a Grace kick right now. Sometimes I think it's Sawyer, sometimes I think it's Zara, sometimes it's Coraline. It really depends on the week, but right now Grace is incredibly photogenic. So if I could make a boy doll, what would he look like and what would his name be? And his name, he would probably be the custom doll that I mentioned in part 1 of the video. If I make a boy doll right now, my idea is a Marie Grace mold, Julie's dark brown pinwheel eyes, and probably a dark wig, just because I like that. I like dark hair. I don't know what his name would be. It probably depends. Well, if I don't want to get attached, I don't know if I'm going to make him, but I have a list. If I ever do make a boy doll, I have a list of names. I'm not going to tell you, because I don't want you to use them before I get the chance to, but I have a list. Dolls are my middle name. Which doll am I going to get next? I'm going to get Mariella next, most likely. It all depends, I'm never 100% sure. I could go and decide that, well, that's not the doll I want to get today, or I don't want to get a doll today, We'll see what happens. And am I going to make any more customs? I don't have any plans right now, but that's definitely not a no. Definitely not a no. AG Sunrise Studios wants to know my favorite AG place, and that would probably be AG New York, but I also really like AG Dolls because it's closest to me, it's the most convenient, and I like AG Mall of America because that's where my cousins and I go to get the giant banana split, which is super fun and delicious. They make the best banana split ever, like for real. Do I have any pets? I do. I have Blair Waldorf. You saw her in a little bit in part 1 because she is a brat and an attention hog, and right now she's sleeping right there. She's all turned over on her back. She looks super comfortable. American_girl_298 wants to know, when did I make my account? I'm assuming Instagram because that's where it was commented. I made my Instagram account in fall of 2013. In November, I'm pretty sure, is when I made it. I don't know the exact date though. Kit_and_Ruthie_studios wants to know my doll pet peeves. I understand when some people can't, especially younger kids. I don't think that they should not have a doll because they're not the best at taking care of the hair, but it does bother me to see a doll with really unkept hair. And I don't like it when a doll looks like they were just plopped somewhere for a photo. I think you should take your time and really be careful about your posing and your placement. Put effort. Make the doll look like you put effort into the photo. That's the only thing. All Hail Queen Ari wants to know my opinion on dolls with makeup, and if that's your thing, that's your thing. I don't think I'm going to put makeup on my dolls right now, but that's just not my style. If that's how you want your dolls to look, that's your choice, and who am I to tell you no? It's not my doll. Outdoor Dolls wants to know my least favorite girl of the year, and don't hate me, but Krissa. I just didn't bond with her. I don't like her. And I don't dislike her. I'll go with that. She's just my least favorite. Other people take beautiful pictures of her. She had some great stuff in her collection, but she's my least favorite girl of the year. I don't know why. She just is. Don't hate me. Sophia's Dolls wants to know, do I shoot on manual and do I like it better than shooting on auto? And I'm going to pay some extra special attention to this because a lot of people don't quite realize what they're talking about. I choose my ISO and I choose my shutter speed and my aperture. That does not mean that I don't use autofocus on the lens. Now, one of my lenses that I do like to use doesn't have autofocus, so I do manually focus that one. But shooting manual does not mean that it's manual on the camera and on the lens. It almost always just means on the camera, which I 100%, I think if you have an SLR or a camera capable of it, you need to learn how to shoot in manual because that is the best way to get the full value of your camera. If you're shooting on auto with a 1DX, Canon 1DX, it's no different than shooting on a point and shoot. I think if you're going to have a big camera and you want to learn photography, you gotta learn manual. And that's not to say that you have to use it. I mean, I know people who use aperture priority and other modes like that, and that's, but again, I really think, you know, if you can choose to shoot on aperture priority, but you still need to know how the camera works and how to shoot on manual. And that's just my opinion. And that's it. Thanks for watching. This has been part 2 of the video. If you didn't see part 1, click back at somewhere, I don't know where. I hope you enjoyed the questions. If you have any more, feel free to ask them in the comments, and I will do my best to answer them. Have a great day!